Hello and welcome to class. So this class is all about the low back and core. If you are somebody who's having a lot of low back pain, then this is the class for you. We're going to be focusing on mildly strengthening the front and back of the core, and then stretching out a couple of key muscles that help relieve low back pain. The psoas muscle that runs along the front of the body, and the QL, the quadratus lumborum muscle that runs along the back of the body. We'll begin in a comfortable seated position. Rest your palms on your thighs, sit up tall, and when you feel comfortable, close your eyes. Take this time to check in with how your body feels today. And check in with how your mind feels today, just observing where your energy levels and your stress levels are at. In time, you'll start to shift your awareness to your breath. And you'll begin to deepen your breath, allowing it to travel past your chest and ribs and all the way into your belly. And as you exhale, you'll start to draw your navel up and into your spine, activating these low, deep muscles in your core. Good. From here, start to make your way onto your back and draw your knees into your chest. Give yourself a gentle squeeze, and then massaging your low back, just take a few moments to rock side to side. Draw a few circles with your knees here, getting the hips involved a little bit, but still focusing on the weight of the low back pressing into the ground. We'll hang out here for some time, allowing the weight of the legs to press the pelvis and the low back into the ground. And start to switch the direction of your circles. Good. Grabbing onto the tops of your knees now, straighten out your arms so that your knees stack above your hips. And give your knees a little bit of a wiggle here, just letting the weight of your legs press your pelvis into the ground. Then slowly we'll come into position to prepare for our core exercise. Stack your knees over your hips, 90-degree angle in your legs. Press your low back into the ground. Reach your hands up to the ceiling and lift your shoulders off the ground for 15. Stay nice and strong in your core. Look straight up to the ceiling. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slow and controlled. Lower your shoulders back down. Keep your hands reaching up. We're just resting for a few moments. Lift and hold for 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice job. Slowly lower down. Take a moment to rest. And last round, lift for 15, 14, 13, 12. Keep your low back pressing strongly into the ground. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Lower your feet down. Now we'll do 3 rounds of bridge, just like last class, but with longer holds. Feet and knees hips width distance apart. Femur bones parallel. Make sure you can tap your heels with your fingertips. Lift your hips and hold. Tuck your tailbone under for another 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Vertebra by vertebra, lower back down. Just a moment to rest. And lift. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Tuck your tailbone 4, under. 3, 2, 1. And vertebra by vertebra. Lower yourself back down. Nice job. Last round. And lift your hips. Tuck your tailbone under. Activate your quads. Hold for the next 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower back down. Move slowly in this transition. Nice. Draw your knees into your chest. Give yourself a gentle rock side to side, massaging your low back. Then hug your right knee into your chest and extend your left leg long. Taking a twist, cross your right knee over your body and reach your right arm out over to the right. Look over to your right hand and let your body sink into the ground here. After we do back bends like bridge pose or full wheel, it's really important to neutralize the spine afterwards. And these supine twists are a great way to do that. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Good. Unravel from your twist. Draw both knees into your chest. And then switch your legs. Extend your right leg long. Then cross your left knee over your body, coming into a twist on the other side. Reach your left arm out to the left and look over to your left hand. Let your body soften here. And if your left shoulder doesn't touch the ground all the way, or if your left knee doesn't take it all the way to the ground, that's totally fine. You're still getting a twist in your spinal column. Good. Slowly roll back over onto your back. Draw both knees back into your chest one last time. This time, rock up and down the length of your spine, massaging your entire spinal column and all of the muscles that frame your spinal column. Get a little playful with this. Rock as many times as you'd like. You can even pause on your upper back a few moments, trying to reach your toes overhead, maybe even all the way to the ground. Nice. Let's rock about 2 to 3 more times. And then eventually you'll rock up into a seat and stay there. Come into tabletop position. And we'll mobilize the spine. With an inhale, drop your belly, pull your chest forward and look forward. As you exhale, lift your upper back, draw your chin to chest and spread your shoulder blades. 2 more times with your breath. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, lift the upper back. Good. Come back into neutral tabletop position. And for bird dog, extend your left leg back and your right arm forward. Pull your elbow and your knee together, lift your upper back, then re-extend. Elbow to knee. With the breath now, inhale, extend. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, re-extend. Exhale, back into tabletop. Other side, right leg back, left arm forward, take a breath in. And exhale, elbow to knee, pull your upper back to the ceiling. Inhale, extend. Exhale, elbow to knee. One more. Inhale, extend. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, extend. Exhale, tabletop. From tabletop, extend your left leg behind you, then cross your left leg over your right, keeping that leg straight and lower your toes to the ground, opening up your left side body. Turn your shoulders over to the right. So all we're doing here is practicing lateral flexion in the spinal column. So we want to shorten the right side body and lengthen the left side body. Look to your left toes here. Take a deep breath in. Deep breath out. And come back to tabletop. We'll do the other side. Straighten your right leg back. And then cross your right leg over to the left, coming to the outside of your left leg until the toes come down to the ground. Turn your shoulders to the left, and then look over to your left toes. Your right toes. You can even walk your hands over to the left a little bit. Feel the length in the right side body. Getting a little stretch there through the lats, maybe even the psoas. Take a deep breath in. Deep breath out. Make your way back to tabletop position. And from here, tuck your toes under. With an inhale, send your hips up and back, coming into down dog. First down dog of class here. Start with the knees bent to press your chest to your thighs. If you're super rounded in your spine because you're trying to work your legs straight, then really, really bend your knees. Draw your chin to your chest and find a straight line from your hands up to your tailbone. So this is a lot of opening in the shoulders here. I know it's challenging the first few times, but you'll get there soon. Let your neck relax. Deep inhale. Deep exhale. Step your right foot forward in between your hands. Lower your left knee down and untuck your toes. With an inhale, rise into low lunge, opening up the left hip flexors here. And now to get into the psoas, start to side bend over to the right. And if you would like to, you can lower your right hand to the ground. If you have a prop nearby, such as a yoga block, you can always use that underneath your right hand here. Inhale, come back up to center. Exhale, both hands down and step back into down dog. Let's do the second side. Step your left foot in between your hands. You can grab a hold of your ankle if you need to. Tap your right knee down and untuck your toes. Inhale, rise, low lunge. With your exhale, start to lean over to the left. Now opening up the right side body, getting the right hip flexors stretching out, including the psoas muscle, which, as I mentioned in the beginning of class, can sometimes be the root cause of low back pain when you have an extra tight psoas. Left hand can come to the ground or to a block. Inhale, rise back up. Exhale, hands down. Step back into down dog. From down dog, tap both knees down. Coming into a wide-legged child's pose, bring your knees as wide as your mat and walk your hands forward towards the top of your mat. Lower your forehead to the ground. Now for our next exercise, we're going to focus on strengthening the back of the core. Begin to lift yourself up out of child's pose. You can round your spine as you do so, giving yourself a little stretch, and then lower down to your belly. Place your feet hips width distance apart if they aren't already. Stack your palms under your elbows and squeeze your elbows in towards each other. Keep a 90-degree angle in your arms. Then, with a strong breath in, peel your chest up off the ground. Stay lifted as you exhale. Lift your hands as best as you can. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Really open the front of your chest. And slowly release back down. Hands and forehead lower. Just a moment's pause. We're going to take 2 more rounds of 10-second holds like this. When you're ready, peel your chest up off the ground. Lift your hands. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. 3, 2, 1, and lower. Nice job. And last round. Peel your forehead, peel your chest, peel your hands up off the ground. I know it's challenging to lift your hands here and keep the elbows close, hugging in towards each other, but try as best as you can. And release. Hands lower back down, chest and forehead makes their way down. Wiggle your hips a little side to side. Just releasing the low back. Nice. And then Sphinx pose. Bring your elbows down, stacked underneath your shoulders. Forearms come down, palms press into the ground. Now you want your forearms parallel to each other here. That way you find a little more broadness through the front of your chest. Energetically, pull your elbows back towards your hips to help guide your chest further forward between your biceps. Keep a neutral neck, looking forward, maybe slightly upwards. And hold for a few more deep breaths. One more breath in. As you exhale, let your elbows come out to the sides and lower your forehead down to the ground. Once again, you may wiggle the hips side to side. Nice. Slide your palms in under your shoulders, press up into tabletop, and then wide-legged child's pose. Take a seat on your heels. As we've done in previous classes, if your ankles have a hard time here, feel free to roll up your mat. They can roll it up halfway or roll up the entire mat even, and then you'll rest your ankles on top of that rolled up portion as to give your ankles some space so that they don't feel so extended, or as we call it, plantar flexion, where you're pointing your toes too much. So it's a great option if you want to roll up your mat, or you can use a blanket as well if you have that nearby. And then same thing, you'll sink into child's pose. From here, walk both hands over to the right, opening up the left side body even more. Energetically guide your left shoulder a little closer to the ground. This is a really nice low back decompression pose. I practice it often when I am experiencing low back pain or tension. Take a deep breath in, and exhale, walk your hands back to center, then over to the left to open your right side body. Energetically guide your right shoulder a little closer to the ground. Take a deep breath in, and deep breath out. Stay here this time. Inhale, come back to center, and walk your hands back in towards your knees. And then lift up to tabletop position, unroll your mat, and come to down dog. We're just taking a break before our next child pose exercise. So if you wanted to keep your mat rolled up and use it for the next time we're in child's pose, you absolutely can. When you're ready, come back into wide-legged child's pose. Now this time we're going to do a twist. So as I just demonstrated in the video, of course, you can roll up your mat again here. Now, for the twist, walk your hands in just a few inches, slide your right arm underneath your left, and then lower both hands towards the ground. Reach your left hand forward and your right hand over to the left. This is a nice stretch for the rhomboid muscles in between the shoulder blades, and also really nice low back stretch as well. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. About one more cycle of breath here. Good. Unravel from your twist and other side. Slide your left arm underneath your right, lowering your left shoulder to the ground and continuing to reach your right hand forward. Once again, giving a stretch to those rhomboid muscles, the ones in between the shoulder blades, and as well as on top of that, we're giving the erector spinae a nice little stretch as well. And you might feel it in your shoulders, your deltoid muscles also. So this is a really nice upper body stretch in general. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Let your body sink into the ground for these last few moments here. Unravel from this twist. Reach both hands forward. And then start to walk your hands back in. Come into a seat on your heels and swing your legs forward out in front of you. So we're just transitioning to sitting on our butt. Extend your legs out long. And then bend your left knee. Connect the left sole of your foot to your right inner thigh. Your left knee falls out to the left. Twist to the left. With your right hand, grab a hold of your left knee and reach your left arm overhead. I know that was just a lot of cues. You can always look up at the video if you need some visual direction as well. Now, if you want to go deeper, you can bring your right elbow to the inside of your right knee and bring it towards the ground. Your left hand is reaching towards your right foot, Turn your gaze upwards towards the ceiling and try to keep your chest open here. This stretch can sometimes be quite intense for the side body, so don't forget to breathe. Good. Come back up and then twist your torso to the right so that you're looking at your right toes. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, start to fold over your right leg, walking both hands towards your right foot. Go as far as you can, and if there's a little bit of a bend in your right knee, that's totally fine, and that's actually going to help relieve some excess strain in the low back anyway. So, in fact, I encourage you to bend your right knee just a little bit here. Then eventually let your spine round as much as it can as you drape your body over your right thigh and stretch your QL, the quadratus lumborum, on your left side. That stretch in your low back that you're feeling on the left, that is your QL. A few more cycles of breath here. Let your neck relax and your head drop. And then slowly roll back up into a tall seat. We'll switch legs. Extend your left leg long and bend your right knee, connecting the right sole of your foot to your left inner thigh. Twist to the right. With your left hand, grab a hold of your right knee and place your right hand down behind you. Then reach your right arm to the ceiling and side bend to the left, as if you're reaching your right hand towards your left toes. Not that you have to grab a hold of your toes by any means here. You're just reaching that direction. You can always bring your left elbow to the ground inside your left knee or to the top of your left thigh here if you want it to get a little deeper. Turn your gaze upwards towards the ceiling. Keep your chest nice and open. Deep breath in. And exhale, come out of the pose, lift back up. Now twist your torso to the left, look to your left toes, and start to fold over your left leg. Bring a little bit of a bend in your left knee, especially if you're feeling too much of a stretch in your low back. And then fold your body over your left thigh. Let your spine round, your head drop. In time, letting your body melt deeper and deeper into this pose. As we've practiced in previous classes, every exhale, you let go of some little bits of tension in your body. Slowly start to roll yourself back up into a tall seat. Nice work here. All right, extend both legs out in front of you, and then you'll bend your knees, connect the soles of your feet, and let your knees come out to the sides for butterfly pose.
Now this time around, see if you can bring your heels a little closer in towards your pelvic floor than last class. Even if it's just a tiny amount, a couple millimeters in space, that is totally fine. Grab a hold of your feet and then pull your chest forward to find length in your spine. Hinging from your hips, start to fold as deeply as you can. If it's not that much at all, it's all good. Focus on keeping a long spine here. You might round a little bit automatically when you fold forward, but notice if you can really hinge from your hips rather than folding from your low back. Energetically press your knees towards the ground, and then let your neck relax and allow your head to drop. A few more rounds of breath here in butterfly pose. It's a really nice pose to decompress the low back. Good. Slowly lift yourself back up into a tall seat. Let go of your feet and extend your legs long out to the sides, coming into a wide-legged seat. Make sure your toes are pointing upwards towards the ceiling rather than dropping inwards. And feel free to slide blocks underneath your knees. It's a really good choice or option or variation, to take here. And as we did in last class, place your hands down behind you to help bring an anterior tilt to the pelvis. Push your belly and push your chest forward, almost like you're trying to stick your butt out. And then this time around, as it's our second class, you have the option to progress and go a little further. You might bring your hands in front of you and start to fold forward. If you only feel a stretch in your low back when you do this, then stay in that first variation with your hands behind you, where you're focusing on lifting your chest and almost arching your spine. However, if this feels fine, when you walk your hands forward and you primarily feel a stretch in your hamstrings and inner thighs, then continue folding forward as far as you can go. About 30 more seconds here, so you have some time to explore. Breathe deeply. And every time you exhale, see if you can let go of some bits of tension in your body to allow yourself to sink a little more deeply into this pose. Last few moments here, maybe you try to crawl a little deeper. Good. Take a deep breath in. Stay where you are. Deep breath out. Maybe sink a little more. And then slowly start to walk your hands back in and lift yourself up into a tall seat if you had hinged forward. Take your time in this transition out. Don't rush. Good. Bring your hands to the backs of your knees and start to pull your knees into your chest.
Pull your knees into your chest. Wrap your arms around your legs, grab a hold of opposite elbows, and just bring your forehead to your knees. Pause here for a moment, letting your legs relax and letting your low back reset. And then from here, we'll let go of your legs. Place your hands down behind you and your feet hips width distance apart. With an inhale, reverse tabletop position. Lift your hips up to the ceiling. Hold it as you exhale. Look up to the ceiling. We've done lots of forward folding today, so we're just going to counter it with one more little back bend. Nice. Lower your hips back down and make your way onto your back. One more time, we'll take a twist to reset the spine. Draw your right knee into your chest. Then cross your right knee over your body. Reach your right arm out to the right and look over to your right hand. If your right knee doesn't come all the way to the ground, and if your right shoulder doesn't come all the way to the ground, no big deal here. Just go as far as you can without straining your spine too much. Unravel from your twist. Draw both knees into your chest, and then extend your right leg long. Let's switch sides. Cross your left knee over your body and reach your left arm out to the left. Take a few deep breaths in here and deep breaths out, letting your body sink into the ground. Using this pose to relax, almost like we're just prepping for our Shavasana here. Good. Unravel from your twist. One last time, draw both knees into your chest. Roll yourself up into a tiny little ball. Take a nice deep squeeze.
And then let your body go. Stack your knees over your hips one more time. Gentle rock side to side. Just like we did at the beginning of class, notice if anything has changed, if anything feels different than at the beginning of class. And then slowly make your way into Shavasana. Extend your legs long. Reach your arms out to the sides with your palms facing up. Final tensing exercise. Tense every muscle in your body from head to toe. Hold it for another 3, 2, 1, and let go. Come to your most natural rhythm of breath. No more control or effort involved. And for the next few minutes here, let your entire body rest. If you're feeling still some tension in your low back, you can connect the soles of your feet and let your knees drop out to the sides, or place the soles of your feet on the mat and drop your knees in towards one another in what we call broken bridge pose. I will take my Shavasana this way because it feels really nice for me in my low back. And if it feels nice for you, you can stay there. If you preferred your knees out wide and the soles of your feet together, you can take that variation. And of course, if you like traditional Shavasana with your legs extended long, you are more than welcome to take that variation. It's up to you and whatever your body needs today. Slowly start to bring your awareness back into your body. Give a little wiggle into your hands and your feet, your fingers and your toes. And then extend your legs long if your knees were bent. Reach your arms overhead. Take a deep breath in and point your toes. Final full body stretch. And a deep breath out to let go. Bend your knees and roll over to the side. And with your eyes closed, press up into a comfortable seat. Take your time here, no rush. Once you arrive, rest your palms on your thighs and sit up tall. Take a moment to observe how the body feels now at the very end of class, after all the work we've put in to decompress the low back, to stretch the muscles around the low back and strengthen the core. And as always, take time to thank yourself for showing up today and putting in the work. Great job today. I look forward to seeing you back here on your mat for another class very soon. Have a wonderful rest of your day.